Okay, so we're here at American Fork Canyon, and we have several guys. We got together. It's raining out, and there's mist, and I know it could turn to snow. Maybe it's a little more likely we might hear something, but usually not in the day. Anyway, we're just enthusiasts here. We have Terry Carter. He has his YouTube channel by his own name, Terry Carter. It's a really interesting YouTube channel about mainly treasures in Utah and giants and all sorts of what I think are interesting things. So this is the Paranormal Review, and he has another nice YouTube channel. He kind of covers all things that are paranormal. He does a lot of Bigfoot things. I think he moved here a little more recently to Utah, so he has some of the content like I have. And we have Lauren. He's from Canada, British Columbia, precisely, and he also is interested in Bigfoot. He believes in them. You know, a lot of Canadians have stories I hear of Bigfoot. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and decide what we're going to do, and I'll just be filming here and there, and hopefully we'll have a good time and we'll get rained out. So it's really rare to have mist in Utah, at least compared to a lot of places. So it's kind of misty today because there's snow and rain, so I think it's kind of picturesque. I'm just gaining an elevation here.
That's interesting. That's crazy, though.
He didn't look dead to me.
Yeah.
Well, the rain has turned to snow pellets. It almost looks like mini hail pellets, but
He won't go down because he's promised to God, but his brother never made that promise. So a month ago I talked to his brother, and his brother's going to go down and try and retrace the steps where they was at and try and find this thing, see what's behind this door. But for him to build that elaborate of a door, might not be nothing behind it, but you know, that's a trace right there, that door.
I guess you could get even finer twine on a big spindle, and then you could go in as far as you want to.
We think we found the right area, but before I spend time digging and excavating that, I want to get Tom's brother down there, Tim, to verify that it's the right area, you know?
So he was there. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I know you were using that equipment, to see the coolest area, I guess, where the air was blowing from. That guy actually is a friend of mine. They work at the same place for the church, LDS Church.
Oh, yeah?
And
yeah. I met him, Giants.
Yeah, Nathan Gines. Yeah, he works with him, and so they kind of sometimes will talk about the interesting equipment he uses and things.
Is that the guy who's on the Aztec treasure show?
No, that's Dan Gilman. I introduced the producers to him, and it became that show. Yeah, Dan Gilman. Well, it's on the. I haven't seen the show yet, but
So there's a cave in Arizona or whatever, and they have like this little.
They found the map, or the like, stones, and his grandfather deciphered them, took them right to the Canyon and Canada.
Yeah.
So this normally is the steepest area, and it can be pretty slick. I'm glad it's snow and not mud, so we're lucky there. I was fearing this part, but we're okay.
So, have you seen any giant bones? No. If they're real, I want to see them. Yell them. Right up my alley, out of place archeology. Things that aren't normal, things that they say can't be.
Yeah.
But they really can't explain it, so they just say it's fake, fraud, a hoax.
Yep.
So,
Is this within Utah you're talking about? I'm not as familiar.
Back in
or is it
Illinois.
Okay.
Illinois, Missouri, Illinois.
Yeah, that's a good area for all sorts of stuff. The Adena culture, I guess, or something, or Hopewell or something.
Hopewell.
Yeah. huge spearheads. The stuff's a lot better made the older you get. Anyway.
Yeah, breastplates, head plates.
Head plates, yeah.
Then around Michigan, the copper, they would make some interesting things out of.
There's over 10,000 copper mines.
Yeah.
We found, yeah. Going back thousands of years. And the Mississippi used to be a lot deeper, so they'd ship up and down it to New Orleans.
Yeah, I think before some of the Madrid fault earthquakes, I heard that was the case. Maybe some other reasons as well.
Yeah. The biggest problem, that's the biggest mistake people make, is they assume that things were then like they are now.
Yeah.
On multiple levels.
Yeah, I think I saw a map, and it was interesting. They tried to, the Book of Mormon place. I think the Jaredites up almost in, Canada around the Great Lakes, and then, Nephites and everything a little further down in America instead of Central America, where a lot of people think today.
Yeah.
So now we're getting kind of some Squatchy, what we call Squatchy land, I would say a little bit.
My dad did all that stuff.
Yeah.
So he went on a couple of those tours
Oh, yeah.
with Rod Meldrin and Wayne May.
And it's funny, his brother, the other Meldrum, is the big Sasquatch guy up in Idaho.
He's going to be at that.
And that's his brother. Yeah, they're brothers.
Are they?
Yeah.
No.
No, they're brothers.
Serious?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
I'll have to ask him. He's going to be at that
Pretty sure.
that conference in Vernal.
Yeah.
They
I
asked
was
me.
thinking I might go up there.
They asked me to speak at that again. I don't know why, but they did.
Well, you have a lot of interesting stuff to say, I'm sure that's why.
Phenomenon. He'll be up there, Jeff Meldrum.
Yeah, Jeff Meldrum.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Meldrum, yep.
Dr. Meldrum. Seems like a very smart guy
Oh, he is, yeah.
about the Bigfoot stuff.
Especially with the locomotion, and, he can tell a fake print from a
Really?
real one. Yeah, that's his thing. He's graduated in, I forget what they call it, but basically prints, like the locomotion of animals. And,
Oh, yeah.
so, yeah.
Wow. Cool.
Beyond that, though, I've heard some people, I heard positive and negative reviews on, but anyway, well, just like anybody.
On Meldrum?
Yeah.
So he's highly intelligent, so he's a college professor, so he speaks with highly intelligent professor words, So some of the stuff he talks about went over my head, but it was still very interesting, that a scholar would be interested in something like that and dare to put his name out there, because most scholars don't dare put their name on stuff like that because they get criticized, ostracized, and so it's cool that he has the courage to go after something that he believes in, without fear of what his peers say. So
yeah, I've heard that some of his peers it's kind of put at one point he's kind of in jeopardy. They were trying to do a review and see if they should kick him out, basically, or something. I don't know what the proper term is, but they let him stay.
That's what happened with Professor Jones on 9/11.
Oh yeah, 9/11's even a hotter topic. Yeah.
Yeah, Professor Jones, before he went to give his lecture for the other professors, for kind of his peer review, or before he put out his peer review.
Yeah, peer review. Yeah.
He practiced on me and told me, and I thought, wow. They'll come after you. They'll crucify you, Steve. And he says, Terry, I can't not tell the truth, And they did. They came after him. They discredited him. But what people didn't know is in our we had a forum, Ancient Lost Treasures, and we had a hidden forum under that for professors, scholars for 9/11. And the only way you could even get into there was by invite only, because they didn't want the rest of them to know what they was researching, what they was talking about, and so I was privy to all that. So it was not just Professor Jones. There was all kinds of engineers, professors, all kinds of people, that was talking about this stuff. But because Professor Jones went public, man, they crucified him. They destroyed him. They destroyed his job. They destroyed him. So
that doesn't surprise me. A lot of people behind the scenes working on stuff, but they don't want to publicly say anything.
Well, they don't want to lose their jobs. They don't want to, and that's
understandable.
And that's exactly what happened to Professor Jones, man.
So you don't no longer have a job at the university or wherever he was.
Yeah, and they would not. They would not give him a reason why. It states right in their procedures and policies that they have to give him a written reason why. They would not do it, so that he would have a chance to rebut it. They wouldn't give him one. They would not give him one.
That sounds about right, about what I'd expect. I mean, not just, but that's about what I expect. So I was filming this, hopefully that was okay. I figured you knew I was filming it.
Yep, I did.
Okay. Yeah, it seems like any conspiracy I'm still filming. It seems like any conspiracy theory, yeah, people have to, like, be real careful, because, like, the powers that be, I don't know why, but they don't want certain things. I think I know why about 9/11, but it's tough.
Well, it's obviously why on 9/11.
Yeah,
the
but
other stuff, the giants,
like Bigfoot, you wonder why they care, but yeah.
What does it matter?
There must be something they don't want. So I guess it's challenging a narrative some way they don't want it challenged, but I don't know what that is, and maybe it's good, I don't know. So just a little note. So we found these what look like larger tracks. They're so, thawed out, and then they've frozen again, but can't tell what they are. But this looks like a deer, where it's kind of taken an angle, the path of least resistance. Often I'll use deer trails to find an easy path up a steep incline. But this thing, by contrast, is plowing straight up the steepest route. And let me walk up to it just to show you my feet by comparison. They're just these big holes. So here's my foot, and here's, you can kind of make out the outline. So anyway, I don't know what it is, there's no definition whatsoever, but it's interesting because, it's big and it's just plowing right up the hill, which Sasquatch have been known to do without any trouble at all. Okay.
That's definitely interesting. What would you say?
So just going up here again. So you're noting my steps are, smaller, shorter in between, and this is very large, very wide stride there. And this one looks a little more, longer than is wide originally, even though it's melted out. So it's maybe humanoid, but it's big and long stride. So anyway, interesting. No way to know what it is for sure, but something big went through there. So that's what you see when you've carved it out. Yeah, it seems kind of steep for a snowshoer, long strides, and who knows, but it's interesting.
If someone was running down with, like, big boots or snowshoes, that's what it looks like to me. Kind of like going downhill. Because you can see how it caves this way. Same with that one.
Mm-hmm.
It started there and then settled there. Looks like they were coming downhill for sure.
It's possible. They'd have to be at a pretty good pace to get that kind of stride, though, and that'd be kind of dangerous. I don't know.
Yeah. Let's see.
But who knows? Maybe it shifted.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't want to try to... What's the word? I wouldn't want to try to reconstruct what they did, because I'm afraid I might injure myself. But for Bigfoot, they'd have no problem coming uphill. Human, the only way they could do it is going downhill. Maybe. So we're about to go up to this place I filmed before here. It's kind of squatchy. I'll do that here in just a second. It's just a piece of animal hide.
So it looks like
it's
hide or
not really
intestines.
hide, but it's
Oh, intestines.
leathery or...
Yeah. Yeah, it's entrails, maybe. If it's not a root. No, that's entrails. Yuck. Okay. I don't know if that shows up on video or not. Anyway.
Man, you got a good eye. A tracker. We got a tracker.
Yeah, I mean, it blends in. It looks like it's a root or something, but it's too stringy. So that's all that's left. There's like no bones. It's just entrails.
Yeah,
That's kind of weird.
interesting that it's there.
Disemboweled. So that's the entrance to the Squatchy place. We have a disembowelment over there or something. Then, guess that's not really funny. But so here's like an X, and we just have all these leans. Of course, leans are natural, but when there's so many of them, it just seems, this is typically what we call squatchy. You have a kind of a, usually there's a kind of, if there weren't snow, there'd be a nice kind of a pine needle, soft underlaying area. But anyway, over here there's the thing that's even hanging up in the tree here. Hopefully you can see it. Sorry, what I'm using, the field of view is not very wide. But that's pretty squatchy there. Again, I filmed it once before. You can see the convergence of all the trees up there. It's just kind of a little bit much to be natural, I think. And there's, anyway, that's pretty much it.
How did it get underneath the big ones?
Like I said, I can see that one. That's the root for that one. But where's the root for that one?
This little one I pulled up just as an example because it's small enough that I can. But there's nothing but mud and dirt underneath.
Looks like the root's there, huh?
So anyway, that's looks like it was added in. If I can get it back up to where it was.
That one there is interesting to me.
Well, I'm gonna have to turn this off to get it back in position, I guess.
You don't think about these things natural, done by nature, but as soon as you mentioned no stump, and I look, and there is no stump. I think, interesting.
Pushed over.
That is very interesting.
And then when all they converge, like in these X's, it's almost like a, you know, it's not a teepee, but it's, it seems like it's arranged in a sense. I mean, just,
they don't just fall that way.
yeah, and it's kind of magical that they all, you know, get caught instead of falling to the ground like these ones. They're all just weaved almost in a sense.
See this one, the wind blew it. It may have had more roots showing, but it looks like it was pushed over after it rotted. After these ones were already there because they're underneath it.
I'm pretty sure I laid this one up here, so don't scout and don't. That one was arranged, but it was arranged by me. So, but everything else, as far as I know, is not human. Well, yeah, from this angle, it's almost like a teepee. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 7 different, at least, that are all just up in this tree here. So from this angle, look, you can see, you know, we have, in person, sure it looks better, I always say, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at least, I think there's 7. I mean, there's a lot of, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 6 structures all converging up to this thing. And then on top of it, you have this large one coming out here. I can't see it on the screen really, but anyway, you have a side one over here. Anyway, there's just a lot going on up there. So I was going over here to basically take a leak or use a restroom, and I stumbled upon a dead deer. Again, we're just right at this is the area that is pretty much a kind of a little wallow. And right here we have a jawbone. And then over here we have some legs. Hopefully that shows up right there. Another leg right there. And the rest, I think, this probably is maybe there's a carcass there, but it's covered in snow. I can see some of the hair on this log. There's in fact even more bones all the way over here. So probably the length of this is under there is the rest of the carcass. Did it die naturally? I don't know, but it's kind of interesting that it's right at this what looks like a Sasquatch wallow where they might sit and maybe eat something. Did they sit and eat that? No way to know, but anyway, it's always interesting to contemplate, I guess, the possibility. So these are kind of unusual. I don't know what to make of them, but apparently it's compacted. Let me get this in position. compacted ice, so it was harder, and it's a relief. It's the opposite of an indent print. And then we have another one over here. He carved it out a little bit, but it's very similar. You can see here. Anyway, just something noted, kind of unusual. There's another one, faint over here. It's been there quite a while. So here's another one, the same thing. It's raised up because the softer snow is less compacted, but the harder stuff is left behind. Here's the size of my foot in comparison. And there's another one up here. And then he found some more up here that he's photographing. Anyway, they've been here quite a long time. Tough to tell what it is, but it seems like something pretty heavy. You have to compact it to the point where it becomes a relief instead of a indent. So anyway, so here we are, middle of nowhere. I think we're pretty close to the right area. We just can't find the clearing because it's. I didn't bring a map. I was familiar enough with this area that I thought I could find it, but too much snow, so I have to come back another time. But we're seeing some nice terrain and getting a workout, and that's pretty much it. We saw some things I filmed earlier, some odd structure things. You can tell that nobody's been up here since it's snowed, and we're just kind of blazing a trail you can see here. So filming the foggy scenery. I don't have much to say really. We're kind of tired. You can see the mud we've been slopping through, and before that, higher elevations it's snow.